Hello. I hope you're doing well today. I pulled some cards from the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck, so this is for whoever this resonates with. I haven't been having a great day today, so the fact that this deck called was actually kind of cool. And your first card is Motivate. Your second card is Advocate. And your third card is Love. So let's get to it. Motivation. I need your motivation. Motivate. Never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway. Motivation is often enough to keep the initial spark of an idea burning brightly. Over time, it is common for the flame to become a little dimmer, as if it is replaced with the reality of the difficult challenge. Suddenly, the idea that you were so keen on becomes too hard, and you find yourself making excuses. The key ingredient, working hand in hand with motivation, is consistency. It is common to get bursts of motivation, but they often give way to the monotony of the daily grind. Consistency helps you to build habits and enables you to push through periods where your motivation wanes. During the initial phase of excitement, be sure to develop habits that will assist in working towards your goal and help you to push through any slumps along the way. All humans have motivations to achieve something. The differentiating factor between those who do and those who do not is the measure of consistent actions they have taken towards it. And I'd like to add to that I feel that some people, it's like motivation is easier for them. Or at least that might be what it seems like. So I'm just going to go off of the perception. It might seem like some people motivating themselves and getting things accomplished and, just staying consistent is easier for them. And it might genuinely be easier for them. That shouldn't... I just kind of encourage you to not see how another person interacts with life and judge yourself or imply that you may be less than or something like that. Like in those realms, you're not less than because you might not be able to do what Joe Schmo is doing, You're not less than. We work differently. And our motivation and our consistency looks different. And that's more than okay. That's natural. So just don't beat yourself up if the consistency thing is really difficult for you, or just not. It just seems like it's easier for other people. Let me continue. My light. Inspire, stimulate, excite, invigorate. My shadow. Dull, dampen, stifle, fizzle out. My sacred words. I realize that no one ever has been, nor ever will be, the amazing soul that is me. I follow my dreams with intense desire. Connected to the throat chakra. Stars are made up of gases that burn out over time, with some shining more brightly than others. Remember that your motivation may too burn out, but consistency will ensure that your star remains bright. Motivate. And I also like to think, if you see, actually, this channel is a great example because I'm not consistent. I'm not consistent. I'd like to be, and I keep on coming back, and it doesn't feel like I'm doing enough a lot of the times because quite frankly, I haven't been here in over a month, so, it's easy to have evidence based off of me not doing quite enough. But there's other things going on in my life, of course. But saying that, this is something that I'd like to continue to be consistent in and continue to be motivated to do, but I'm thankfully in a state of having grace and compassion towards myself that I am kind of doing other things right now, but oh goodness, now I'm just rambling. But what I'm trying to say is that the consistency doesn't have to look like your stereotypical every week we do this, every day we do this. It can be a monthly thing. It can be something that you're working up to make a monthly thing. It can be something that you're working to make it a bi-weekly thing. You know, like I said, the spark of motivation wanes, and the consistency is something to work up to. So again, don't be hard on yourself if it is a time period that it's just really difficult for you to get that consistency and feel that motivation. And we're just always a work in progress, and we're always just I'll stop there. We're a work in progress. And let's go to the next card. Advocate. Our lives begin the day we become silent about the things that matter. It is common to find yourself in a situation where it is difficult to speak your truth and let your voice be heard. Perhaps you worry about stepping on someone's toes or unintentionally speaking out of turn. Consider those things that need to be given a voice in your life at present. Speaking up on these matters may push you beyond your comfort zone. However, it is important for yourself and others that you do not remain silent. When you allow injustice to go unchecked, those around you begin to see it as the norm. Now is the time to use your voice, be heard, make your words count. Approach each situation from a place of love, with an intention of creating real positive change, and with a genuine interest in bettering the circumstances for all involved. My light: promote, vocalize, encourage, support. My shadow: silence, indifference, ignorance, suppression. My sacred words: as I give a voice to myself, I give a voice to those who are unable to speak for themselves. Connected to the throat chakra. Though just a tiny flower, the forget-me-not is symbolic of small things that hold great meaning. It asks you to speak on matters close to your own heart, regardless of how small you feel they are. Let me say that last part again. It asks you to speak up on matters close to your own heart, regardless of how small you feel that they are. Some of us have legitimate things that we need to speak up on, that we need to voice and to have others hear. We don't need to do things alone, you know. We don't have to brave it on our own. Oftentimes we might feel that way, but we don't have to. And we can always say, hey, I mean, I did it the other day, actually. I said, hey, I'm having a difficult day. And this was to somebody that was, receptive. So I knew it should be a safe space to do this. But I said, I'm having a difficult day. And there's these visual things that affect me. And I think that I'm just a little bit sensitive today, and I can't be around these specific things. Would we be able to do an activity that doesn't involve these things? Because I would like to spend time with you, but I just don't know if I can spend time around these things. And the person was very receptive, and they said, of course, yes. And we made it so that we could have a good time together, and whatever mental or emotional state that I was in was not affected by triggers, whatever words you want to use, by these things. And potentially the situation would have gotten a lot worse, because I do feel I was very affected by these things. And if I was around the person and these things, likely we wouldn't have had a very good time, because I'd be so wrapped up in my emotions and thoughts around the things that I needed to protect myself from. So advocate for yourself. It might make a huge difference. Love is the last card. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even heard, but must be felt with the heart. When we think about love, we often think of our love for others. Our first thought of love is rarely self-love. Yet this is the most essential. Love yourself for everything you have been, everything you are, and all that you are to become. Imperfection is its own kind of beauty. Love yourself enough to take chances, to fear failure a little less, and to find peace in the possibility that even the best laid plans may not turn out exactly as you had imagined. Love yourself enough to stop constantly comparing yourself to others and to find an end to the negative self-talk that spreads through your veins like poison. Realize that your beauty, both inside and out, is absolute, and that no one ever has been, nor ever will be, the unique being that is you. The greater you allow self-love, the greater your capacity to love those around you. My light, acceptance, embrace, beauty, unconditional. My shadow, detest, aversion, loathing, conditional. My sacred words, of all things I know to be true, I know that love will be my legacy, connected to the heart chakra. Love yourself enough to advocate for yourself, and love yourself enough to stay consistent, to continue to try and work on that. You know, when you get those bursts of motivations, try to work on that consistency. And don't be too hard on yourself too. Remember there's grace and compassion and all of that involved. Sometimes things are really, really difficult, and it just be a little understanding that it's gonna take a little bit more time than maybe you had initially hoped. But love yourself, truly. All right, thanks for being here. Take what's yours, leave the rest behind. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm just talking. Could all be bull. All right.